Celestia woke up. She wasn't usually one to sleep in, but today was the day to do it. She knew what had happened the night before. She knew what awaited them now, and it frightened her. She had seen something in the eyes of Sunset's grandmother, something divine and indecipherable, something that had judged and found her wanting. Maybe she was imagining it, but there was something in that alien being's eyes that made Celestia look inward, and it unnerved her. Like a part of a life lost. Something, maybe a million things she should have done. Are you okay? She turned to look at her boyfriend, Sable Loam, scarcely older than half her age, and they had only been together for a handful of weeks, yet she would do anything for him. She was his now, as he was hers. Years were meaningless if they had nothing to show for it in the end. In the small time they had been together, Celestia felt like she had lived and loved the same number of years as Velvet had for her husband. No, I'm not. I'm afraid what the world has in store for us the moment I get out of bed. It has me, doesn't it? He said, mild, it has you, Tia. That's all I ever wanted. That's all I ever needed. He leaned down and kissed her. Kissing him reminded her of something instantly. She sat it up and unintentionally butted heads with him. Wow, remind me never to make you angry, he said, rubbing his head, but with a slight smile on his face. Lou! Oh God, Shadow was shot. We have to... Do nothing, he told her calmly. She called half an hour ago. As soon as she woke up with him at a hotel at Kaufmouth Falls, where they went this weekend. This weekend? But didn't we... No. I've been sitting here trying to puzzle everything out. That dinner we've had over at their place happened a month ago, not last night. And I met your family 2 weeks ago. He grinned. Your mother insisted we elope immediately, so we could start working on a grandchild for her since, as she said, you're not getting any younger. Celestia frowned. That sounds like something Mama would say. She groaned. How's Lou? Lou is just as confused as we are. She says she's going to make sure that Shadow wasn't shot, just in case. So they'll be in bed all weekend. That sounds like something she would say. So yeah, and what about us? Oh, I'm fine. So are you. Trust me, I checked. No, I mean... He silenced her with a kiss. Tia, when you were captured, I thought my life was over. Not because I had to fight my way into some sort of evil Cassio to rescue you from a bad man in his militaristic like gun mall. And that does sound ever like a discarded plot of a video game, let me tell you. Commented dryly. No, I thought my life was over because I thought I was going to lose you. You haven't, and you won't. You know, things are different now, and I don't know how different. I still have my school ID, and apparently I'm still a teacher over the blanks. You're still principal at Canterlot High. That's as much as I know. However different everything else is, we're going to find out. But we'll find out together. Married? I thought we agreed to wait at least a year so people won't think we're nuts. After everything we've just been through, it's taken me everything I have not to throw you in the car and drive to the Nevada border. Then at least let me take my time to buy you a ring before we make it formal. Sable, I'm 56. I could care less about formal. You might not, but your mom would. Master, she didn't get to be mother of the bride. Celestia sighed. Okay, you have a point. You know what would have made this scene worse? Oh, I don't mean worse in a bad way, but their whole entire newsflash worse. Is if, at that moment, they hear, wing, and they see just what time travel shenanigans get you. The house on Bowtie Road didn't look familiar to Sunset at all. But once you walked in, despite the different configuration, it looked like, for lack of a better term, a remixed version of the apartments you remembered Pinky's family living in. At that moment, 11 girls sat around a coffee table, confused as could be. At the moment, she explained how much their lives had changed, and how much they remembered a life that somehow happened despite not happening. The others listened intently, and from what Sunset saw, occasionally one of them had a moment of info dump biking them out on the new details that filled their world. And that's how our lives have changed. Sunset explained. So where's Ross betting right now? Verity asked. Mom's giving her a quick rundown on how life is as a human. We don't know how long she's going to be with us. Tonight, I need to figure out how the portal works since it's been moved. Barring that, get a note to Equestria via Dragonfire Candle. If what Roz says is true, my own homeworld could still be in danger. I don't even want to think about getting into another war right now, Adagio drawled. Or not. I'll send Roz back if it's safe to. But right now she's stuck here. Sunset replied, cut her a little slack. Sure, all she has to do is just not be a bitch and I won't punch her face in. Dodgy! The eldest shift went tough. Fine, but only because you're my cousin. She flashed a quick private smile at that, then went back to frowning. Well, that's all lies in a nutshell, Octavia said. What about the rest of you?
I guess I'll go first, Pinky said. I still get a lady boner over Sunny. Now that there's two of them, well...
We so did not need to know what you're thinking, Pinky. Arya groaned, face palming.
At the end of the day, one's enough for me. Even if Pinky's going to get too much of a good thing.
Anyone else have anything to contribute?
Well, as far as I can tell, nothing in my life has changed at all. Except I don't have a job at the zoo anymore,
Fluttershy said, blushing.
I guess my public performance was hampering with the zoo operations. Because people were coming to see me for who I was rather than for the place, so I quit. Since then, I've been working on my music.
We should join together sometime then, Flutters, Octavia told her.
I think I like that,
the chiffon-haired girl said with a soft smile. Rarity was next.
Nothing in my life has changed at all. My parents still have the same jobs. We still live in the same place. And the only thing that has they bought me was a car last year, she said. Though I think Mother's considering a third child.
Yeah, same on this end. Including the parents doing the horizontal loop, Bob. Though you guys already knew that, Rainbow added, trying not to blush. Skips complains she'll have to change diapers, but hey, that's life. My life has changed, Boots, Applejack said. Except now I have a little brother. Ma, she didn't lose the baby and now he's saving. He's named Melrose, or Mel for short. Pa totally loves him, though. Well, Pa says he's an apple no matter what his genes say. I'm starting to see a pattern here, Verity commented. Hey, grandmother's a goddess. Are you going to tell her no? Sunset giggled. Seriously, what about our friends and whatnot? Apparently Rose likes the Sugar Cube now, as well as some girls I haven't heard of.
Yeah, Pinky's saying. Although with the county fair going on at the end of the month, we're going to be real busy in the main store. So most of the girls will be working a stand there. It'll be like things didn't change, at least for a few days. Besides, I think the uniform's cute,
Fluttershy said.
Now I wouldn't mind seeing Sunny in just an apron.
I think I like Pinky better when she wasn't as horny, Rainbow said in monotone. I think we should take the day to figure out what has changed and what hasn't, Sunset commented. We can meet at my family's place this evening and discuss it. For that matter, I think we'll need to speak to Miss Celestia and Miss Luna, as well as my brother and Keynes to compare notes. Plus, I want to see the underground bunker. I know this much. Those that died are still dead. Rose is still mourning Taskmaster's death. I would be more worried if some of our friends became casualties, like I or Bonnie, Applejack added. Okay, so meet our place at 6 tonight, okay? Twilight suggested, and they all got ready to depart. So, what's your plan now, Sunny? Octavia asked her. I have something personal to do. Sunny, mind dropping me off?
Sure, no problem.
The youngest sibling commented.
I want to get home and start piecing together everything about downstairs anyway.
As Sunset left with Sonata, Twilight pulled Pinky aside. Can I have a word with you?
Sure thing, Twilight.
Pinky smiled fails. He wants her love to part before turning to her loved sister.
You're not gonna hurt me or anything, are you?
Me?
I'm not stupid. I recall the old timeline and the new one. I know something happened to my feelings for Sunny. Before, I guess you could call him a girlish crush. But now, I know she was the one I want to spend the rest of my life with. And yes, I'm feeling a bit hormonal right now. I would hope that would pass in time because I love your sister too much to make her feel too squid out about me.
Then can I offer you advice?
Sure.
Be yourself. Be the Pinky we all know and love. I don't know what her preferences are, only that she's very emotionally vulnerable right now because of everything that's happened. But I do know you'll push her away if you come on too strong. Think about Rose and how she is.
I'll try not to, Pinky commented. I don't want to get into your cousin intelligent mode.
Look, I'm just saying right now, she needs a friend more than anything else. If you want to score points with her, be that friend.
So, you're giving me your blessing to chase after your sister?
Twice sighed. I plead the fifth. Luna looked at the skyline of Commonwealth Falls, Oregon. She was still coming to terms with everything that had happened. The fact that her boyfriend had died, and she and Celestia nearly had as well, before Sable rescued them. She had known Sable had been in the military, but didn't know he had been Army Special Forces. But that hadn't mattered in the long run because she was grieving. Desi had been put to sleep by Sunset's otherworldly grandmother, and something within her said that everything was going to be fine. She woke up this morning here, next to him. She passively made love to him. Not sex like they usually did, but love. She was seriously going to have to rethink her life priorities now. He was asleep again, as she was here, watching the day go by. Whoa! Just whoa! I think she drained him. She smiled. Even though she was 52, she felt like she was perpetually in her late 20s, and as she was more like her niece Kane's age than her own. That Velvet, even though she had been Luna's lifelong friend, was living another life Luna couldn't touch. And now, for the first time today, she had. She looked back at her sleeping boyfriend, then to her own hand, and the engagement ring that hadn't been there the day before. She smiled. The future wasn't going to be so bad, was it? So the DA has assigned me to Keynes because the killers are underage, Keynes told Shining over lunch. As usual, my goddess of love reputation strikes around the office. He knows I'm the arresting officer, right? Shining asked her. Is it not a conflict of interest? At this point, nobody gives a damn about anything other than making those black sirens fry, Kate told him. You're taking this a lot better than I was, Katie. Because they're killers, love. Whether they were the dead-hand killers in this new reality, or whether they were just safe-shift attack dogs in the last one, they did it willingly, according to the triplets. Yeah, that's another thing. Shining Armor, don't you dare say anything about them, Kate warned. They're your cousins, and raised practically like your sisters, like Tavi. No, not that. I don't think anyone would believe me anyway. Besides, Sunny found this for them. And even without the interference from her grandmother, they were on the side of the angels. They get a pass, as far as I'm concerned, he told her. What I meant was, will the charges stick? Again, no one really cares. I suspect you would have a hard time finding an impartial judge, and if they're ever saying enough to stand trial, I was going to be moved out of the county. I'm going to have to make some arrangements to go see them, in order to offer them the inevitable plea bargain that I know the AA doesn't really want to give, but the state requires. For that matter, your mother will have to come with me, as they aren't legally minors until a judge declares them to be held liable as adults. Well, Patch told me I have the rest of the day off. I'm going to see Mel's family and see how they're holding up. Shiny commented. Then I'll go check on Sandy in the hospital. Let her know I'll be there later, Kate told him. But for now, I just want to enjoy the time I have with my fiancé, because right now, she gained on the sunniest grin possible. That's the most normal thing in my life, regardless of whatever time fuckery Sunset's grandmother did. I hear that. And so, we'll have you stay in this room for the moment, Velvet said, pointing to a particular one. This one's the guest room, I think. Still haven't gotten the hang of this house. Thank you, Mrs. Velvet, Raspberry said in a soft voice. You're welcome, dear. I know this is hard on you. It's been hard on all of us. I'm sure you can deal with it. No, I'm not sure I can. Raspberry looked up at the woman. I doubt that, Velvet assured her. You're a strong lady. No, I mean, I'm not talking about my ability to fight. I would do that for any pony. Anyone, dear. Not any human, and definitely not any pony. See, I don't know how Sunny does this. She's so natural at being human, I don't know if I could do this for the rest of my life. What if I had to? Where will I go? We wouldn't force you out, Raspberry. We owe you a debt of gratitude. Besides, I wouldn't let a child go like that. I'm not a child, though. I'm 23. No, you're not. As a pony, you might be, but what I see is a 16-year-old girl. Maybe your counterpart, wherever she is the same age. At least given what I've seen between my daughter and the other Sunset, that's what I figure. But you won't be alone in this world, Raspberry. You'll have us at least. Thank you.
Now just need to know one thing, if you don't mind.
She whispered to Raspberry, something into Velvet's ear. Velvet gave the girl a sardonic smile. Raspberry, dear, you're about to learn the horrors and joys of what it means to be a human woman. Raspberry looked at Velvet with fear.
I was afraid of that. Come on. I'll take you to the store and explain everything on the way.
Oh God, no! Bart! Next scene!
And you promise to keep that under your hat, Lyra?
Flareside asked.
I'm genuinely hurt that you would think I would tell anyone, Flares. Lyra told her. Besides, I haven't told anyone about you. Yes, but my information is public already. As much as I would rather have done it in a better way. Science isn't. However, and I think she and her family, both sides of her family, should make that public in their own fashion. Don't worry, Flutters. We'll keep it under wraps, Trixie insisted. She's our friend after all. Though, is it really true? Flarside nodded. Yes, as unusual as it may seem. Coming from you, that says a lot. Well, French princess or not, she's our bud. We don't go blabbing on buds, Lyra insisted. She doesn't want to talk about it, we don't talk about it. Simple as that. Well, that's surprisingly mature of you, Trixie told her best friend. At least I could figure out how to work it to my advantage. Celeste-haired girl said with a grin. I hereby rescind my compliment, Trixie sighed. Sunset got off the phone. Dad said he'll make the calls and see who can make it tonight. I think that should be everyone, except for Miss Luna, who's out of town. Okay, you sure you want to do this? Sonny, I have to test my new powers out in a relatively safe location, Sunset said. Right now, I don't know if it's safe to have everyone around for that. I can wait. Maybe go down to the road to the Burger King and sit out there. Look, I know you're doing that siren thing, but have some faith in me, okay? I need to test my powers out, because I don't know what the limits are. So, I take it you're just gonna teleport home then? The look on Sonata's face was unconvinced. Yeah, I'll be fine. I know you'll be. I'm just more concerned about how Dottie reacts if she knows I left you by yourself right now. We'll talk about it tonight, okay? Deal. With that, Sonata got in the car and departed, leaving Sunset in the middle of the Everfree Forest. She had taken 2 steps before she heard mocking laughter behind her. I thought it was you. Though her voice's faint was unmistakable. Chernabog. So, the pretty pony got an upgrade. I hear you're even more fuckable now. Bring me back and I can satisfy you all night. I'm looking for that last string you have tied to this realm, Sunset said, ignoring the demon's taunts. Once I cut it, you will never return. I wouldn't do that for you. I could be of use to you, help you. I really don't want your help, Sunset said, beginning to weave an intricate spell. You've done enough damage to this world, you and your kind. You don't even realize what you pissed off. That old Biddy of yours done stepped on some tails she shouldn't have. You're gonna pay the price for that. You and everyone you love. The more you talk, the more I can zero in on that one connection, Sunset responded. You must be desperate to be forever trapped in nowhere. No, I'm just giving you a final word of advice, Sunset. That was different. Chernabog had never referred to her by name before. What can you tell me that would make me want to listen? Only the simple fact that your ponies are the only ones with magic in this realm. Humans have it too. It's rare, but they have it. And we humans covet it. I'm sure you heard about the Judeo-Christian legend of the 12 tribes. There's some truth in that. There are 12 different magical bloodlines on this earth. I already know that, she lied. Sunset had made a mental note to follow on Chernabog's claim, even if it yielded her nothing but peace of mind. Bullshit you did. But I tell you more. There is a price. I told you, I don't make deals with demons. Then, shining in front of her was the quantum string in question, vibrating in time with the universe. And I found your loophole. Any last words before the world forgets you exist? Just one. And please hear me out. To Sunset's surprise, the tone was so sincere. You're not going to be free. Don't bother asking. No, you won't. But let's just say
Neither you nor Shimmer were the first in our family that I possessed. The last time I had some fun, and had a child as a result. That child inherited my powers, and those powers rang on true down the bloodline. Sunset laughed. Oh, you're not going to tell me you actually care about something other than yourself, Turnabog. No. I'm telling you this because you care about her. She is one of your own friends, and may be tempted by a power more dangerous than me. And why are you telling me this? Because, young goddess, I want to see how good you really are. If you can beat me as mortal, then there might be more to you than you realize.
Who is she?
I don't have to tell you. You can figure it out yourself.
Sunset looked at the quantum string. Cutting it won't impact reality, but assured Turnabog had no way of having influence on this realm at all. Fortunately, the damage was already done. With nothing left but the healing, both the clean breaks and metaphorical scar tissue. Besides, it had been her mother, her pony mother, and her son signs that an enemy would survive was better than vanquishing them. It was pragmatism over idealism. Sunset something it hated. Fine. I will leave destroying alone for now. But you have no influence at all in this world. And if you are trying to possess her, I will destroy you.
Good if I tried. I need a descendant with the right genetics. And that only comes once a millennium. Your friend is safe. Well, for me at least.
No. She will be safe. Period. If she has your powers, Turnabog, you might find she is made of stronger stuff than you will ever be.
No, that's just insulting, Sunset. Boo-hoo. Guess I'll have to play with myself to keep busy while biding time for the next opportunity.
One you will never have. And with that, Sunset banished the link, while the string remained intact. Thankfully, there were other ways to pull the metaphorical hole in the dike. Now it was a matter of finding out which of her friends had the blood of a demon, assuming that was even true. Yeah, and I thought starting school again in a couple of weeks was going to be the hardest thing I had to deal with. Turns out that's going to be a cakewalk. At least for one thing was sure, she knew and trusted her friends. Whether it was Rarity or Bonbon, Rose or Applejack, it didn't matter. She knew them and trusted them. If you are telling the truth, Turnabog, it's not going to do you a damn bit of good. I let all people know that our paths are not today. Sunset teleported back to her room. She was done now. It's so with 3 little girls, Sandalwood said in an angry tone, though Sunny wasn't sure if she was angry at herself or the Dead Hand Killers. 3 kids that literally slaughtered hundreds?
Well, not exactly. Keep in mind, those kids were trained since birth to be Canadian assassins.
Canadian assassins, Sandalwood scoffed. You realize how stupid that sounds? Canada is known for Lightfoot and really bad fear, not military prowess.
Be that as may, from what the task force is piecing together, the current theory going is that these girls were killing others ritualously and trying to summon demonic powers for themselves.
I repeat my last. You realize how like that sounds?
That's before I left to work. He told me forensics found a hidden location beneath the construction site. It's filled with a bunch of antiquities stolen from museums around the world, such as the estate of some French prince who died last year.
Almost shook her head. This is getting more ridiculous.
Thus, when they didn't get their magic powers or something, the drugs they'd been taking just overloaded their minds, and they snapped and turned on their master.
Get this straight. A firefight between these Canadian rogue military personnel and mercenaries hired by Canada to stop them takes out half of them at a hidden base during a freak hurricane?
Yep.
Meanwhile, the other half of them are dragging up 3 girls with performance enhancers that boost their natural abilities, but damage their minds into thinking they're some sort of animal creature, ritualistically killing innocent girls to sacrifice their demonic powers. And when that doesn't work, they turn into benefactors, slaughtering the military personnel during the earthquake we just had. 6-point earthquake, where nothing got damaged because we're in a stable part, California.
Shiny merely held his hands up and shrugged, as if that would answer everything.
Sandalwood groaned. Clearly, the doctors need to give me whatever it is that the rest of you are taking, because I still don't believe it. He sighed. Look, you know as well as I do that with a group like this, they don't let their rogue elements loose. That's because that's a potential noose around their neck. If I was whoever this ringleader was of this shit, and I had 3 girls that were about to go nuts, I'd put them down, because that could spell potential disaster for my plans. Not steal ancient artifacts and let them build a sacrificial altar or some shit.
Yet the Curve Fury says that. Apparently 3 women switched sides and informed us about all this, are saying that Cantana Blast woman did just that.
The intern tail?
Yeah. Apparently 3 women in their 30s who were raised together by the organization saw the light turned themselves in to get as much warning as they could. They're in Canadian custody now and on their way back to Canada. I assume to inform their government and stand trial there. I don't know the full details, and I suspect we won't know. Signing diplomatically amid the defense that the CIA pulled its strings to assert that the 3 sirens would be turned over to the CIS.
I don't know. Something still seems too pat about this. Like it's a pat job to cover something up.
Between you and me, Sandy? It probably is. The higher-ups wanted the killings done, and they're done. When I arrested those girls, they seemed like they were out of their minds. Too far gone to be able to mastermind a serial killing a couple decent girls. They were naked and howling like animals, and certainly not capable of killing dozens of heavily armed women. So you want to know what I think? I think that the 3 women we let go are the ones that killed all the others of their kind. They took them down by surprise when least expected, because they had a chance to do this before Cantana Blast was executed, whatever her plans were. And I don't think it was those 3. I think they're the only ones that survived.
Sandalwood thought about it for a second. Yeah, that makes a hell of a lot more sense. But not gonna be on the official record, is it?
At this rate, we'll be lucky if there is an official record. Everyone higher up wants to bury this, forget it ever happened. Probably because they're talking international incident now. I suspect you hear a lot of accusations for Washington's, and a shitload of policies for Toronto.
The capital is Ottawa, Shiny, not Toronto.
You know what I mean. In any case, a year from now, this will be forgotten except by some low-level federal employees playing cleanup, historians, and conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, I guess. In any case, I hope those 3 women get what they want. As much as people think they should probably be behind bars, probably saved a lot of lives. But as someone who's in the military myself, I know heroes often don't get the credit we deserve. I hope society helped get a happy ending.
Probably not, Shiny told her. From what I gather, they'll probably get kicked out of the Canadian military, and either spend the rest of their days behind bars, or executed by other elements of their government for existing as an embarrassment.
Hell of a way to go, said the wood sound soundly. I sure as hell won't want to be in their position right now.
It was afternoon when Madrigal, Intermezzo, and Vesper went down to Central Equestrian County Jail. Waiting for them behind a nondescript silver SUV was Changeling. "Hello, ladies," he said calmly. "Hail to the heroes of Canada."
"Spare us, whoever you are," Intermezzo told him. "We know you're here to take us back to Ottawa for trial."
"No, I'm not," he said, looking at with confusion. "I'm a spy, not coroner. I don't deal with dead bodies unless I make them so." The moment he said that, they tensed up, ready to attack him. Suddenly that, he waved his hands in front of them. "I'm not here to do the deed, especially not in front of a jail, okay?
Then why are you here?"
"I'm here to tell you that you're dead. And now you're expected aboard that Chartered Air Canada flight back to Ottawa. What you're not supposed to know is a trap. The aircrew aboard is Les Scars. They have orders to kill you until you are very, very dead. Your little act of counter-rebellion might have earned yourself the rank of heroes in the eyes of Parliament Hill. But as far as CSIS goes, any surviving siren is a noose around their neck, and they can't have that.
So,
this is what you're going to do. You're going to give me your hair and blood samples. You're going to get into that SUV and head to Dallas, where you will find a house in the pleasant and quiet suburb of Mesquite. Your new identities will have bank accounts and untraceable paper trail attached to them. You won't need to find jobs immediately, although I'd recommend doing so in the long run so you can become valued members of the community." He then frowned. As for Vesper and Intermezzo Blue and Madrigal Storm, sounds like they will become victims of a plane crash somewhere in the Canadian Rockies. Of course, foul play will be suspected, especially once they're identified by DNA samples. CSIS will get the authorities off their backs, at least until the anonymous packets mailed yesterday gets to the RCMP National Headquarters, with enough incriminating evidence to put Golden Rule and her cronies behind bars for the rest of the days. But that's a few months down the road, and by then you 3 lovely Texas ladies will have a care as to what another country's problems are. Magical looked at Changeling and asked a simple question. "Why?" "Because I wasn't always Changeling, CSIS. A long time ago I was an RCN petty officer who knew Admiral routine long before he was chosen to lead a secret project. The Admiral was the sort of man that was kind yet gentle, and never let an injustice like Siren stand. He took off his sunglasses and looked him straight in the eyes. My grandfather was not that sort of man at all.
What happens to you? You're not going to be able to hide from this kind of heat.
I vanished, of course. It'll only be a matter of time before they trace everything back to me. I can't have my wife and children remain in danger. So he, vanish. He grinned. But maybe someday, if you're ever in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and you see a familiar guy, you might want to say hello. 20 minutes later it was done. Changeling got in a black sedan out across the street and waved farewell and departed, leaving the three women to the future.
So what now?
Vesper asked. Magical laughed at her friend and asked,
What's so funny?
Just something I was thinking about. Last night, I had a dream. The three of us, well, we had daughters. Teenage daughter.
Teens?
Emirza shook her head.
Realize how young we would have had to be and have kids who are now tweens?
As it was, we got turned down for being yours.
So we didn't have teenagers around us at all.
Look, it was a dream, I know that, Magical told her. But it felt so real. Almost like it really happened. We were all a family. And we loved them. And he loved us.
So you want to be a mother, Maddie? Is that what you're saying?
Now former Siren nodded. Yeah, as crazy as it sounds. Yeah, I don't mind being a parent. Vesper looked through the phone that Changeling had given her. Well, I'm doing this right. There's a daycare center for a sale this week. Daycare center? Good place to start as any. You up for it, Maddie? Sure. As soon as I figure out what my new name is. Emirza groaned.
You two are impossible, you know that?
Maybe. Vesper admitted. Let's go be impossible together. I thought you'd never ask.
I'm crying. I'm happy for these three. Even though they'll never know the sirens again and want them, I'm happy for them.
This is how you do an epilogue chapter. Eating Sonata!